Hello worms! Hello you little wormlings. Wormlings old and wormlings new, and 400 subscribers, so there's a lot of new wormlings out there. Lovely little wormlings. Thank you very much. I'm very chuffed. Expectation, anxiety much? Yeah, well, I hope you enjoy what you're about to see if you want to watch this video, and if you don't enjoy whatever. Yeah, but I thought I'd better put a trigger warning in for you guys, because I'm going to be talking about food, and I know some people find that really delicate subject. So if that's a thing that concerns you and worrying you, making you anxious at the moment at the idea of food, click off now, go and put your eyeballs on something else, and I won't be offended. But if you're okay with that, then I'm sorry, I've something down the back of my neck. Oh, sensory issues. I've just been for a sports massage because I've got a really bad back and thighs, and I was really hoping that they could do something, and now I'm very sore. Anyway, so we're going to talk about sensory issues today to do with ADHD and autism and other neurodiverse things that can cause that kind of thing. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because I was just happening to scroll through some of the channels that I like, and I came across Noah Fintz, and one of the things that he talked about was his ADHD and how it causes him some problems with eating. And I was thinking, yeah, actually that's a good point, actually. So thanks Noah. I'll say something about that because it does affect me too. And the 3 ways this affects me is, first of all, there are certain foods that I find difficult to eat, like lettuce. Iceberg lettuce is just horrible. I just don't see the point of it. It's bitter and it's crunchy and it's nasty. White bread kind of gets stuck to the roof of my mouth, but I can't have Marmite or cheese or anything with brown bread. It has to be white bread. But if it's brown bread, it has to be toasted, and it can't have malt in it because that's too sweet. And I can't have bits in it, so I have to have like whole wheat bread or white sliced bread. I hope this is still recording. It's getting a bit warm out here. And then I like the taste of onions, but if I eat them, then they make me sick, so I have to be careful of that. And some pre-prepared processed meat I can't eat, and oh my god, there's a drama around that, which I will talk about at some point. So there's all sorts of foods and that I just can't tolerate for whatever reason. And then there's 2. The preparation of food, which is one of the things that I put in my my PIP assessment, because it is quite debilitating when you can't cook food without burning down your kitchen, leaving things on the hob, or just generally finding the time or energy to, the spoons, some people call them spoons, but the energy to actually cook. And if there's another person in my house who's a guest, or my husband or whatever, yes, I am married. It doesn't mean I'm any less queer, thank you very much. Just nobody told me I had the options when I was younger. Okay, so sorry, going off on a tangent. If someone else is there, I will cook for them, but if it's just me, I won't, because I just don't have the energy. And the 3rd one is time blindness. Now, this is a thing that happens a lot with ADHD people, and also people on the autism spectrum, because we get so absorbed in what we're doing sometimes, we don't notice what the time is, so we won't stop to eat, we won't stop to drink. I'm really dehydrated at the moment, and it's contributing to a lot of my muscle ache, but it's also contributing a lot to my sort of sinus and blocked nose problems, and just general fatigue. But I don't like drinking water, and I don't like squash, because in Britain they've replaced all the sugar with nasty sweeteners to keep the costs down, because they've got this lovely thing called the sugar tax now, which means that anyone who's sensitive to sweeteners can't now enjoy their favourite favourite drink, which is lovely. And also sweeteners don't react well with my ADHD, and they give me a headache as well. So, you know, they just make me go bonkers. And also, I don't know why they felt the need to put sweeteners in, because sweeteners make you fat. And there's a lot of research into that. So I don't drink, I don't eat. And the other night, I didn't think about having anything until I realised it was 8:30, and I thought, well, I better eat something before I go to bed, because I'll be lying in bed all night with my stomach churning. And it's things like that. Unless there's somebody living with me and we have a routine, but then I get frustrated, because if we have a routine, I have to stick to it, and I don't want to stick to it because I'm too busy doing something else, and I don't want to put down what I'm doing. And when I was a kid, I used to get so frustrated with having to sit at the meal table that I would just eat as quickly as I could. And everyone used to tell me that I was really greedy, but it wasn't that. It was just I just wanted to get the food down so I could go down and do something else, because, you know, you weren't allowed to leave the dinner table unless your plate was empty. And then if it was food I struggled with, that was a real problem. And also my sister struggled with food as well when she was younger. So there was the added frustration of that for my mum, and it turned into a huge drama. So you know, so I just eat quickly so that I can get on and do something more interesting. And sometimes I think to myself, I wish I smoked, because then I'd have an excuse to go out. You know, if I was at a restaurant or something, I'd have an excuse to go and stand outside. But now I just say, look, I don't feel, you know, I feel a bit hot in this restaurant, or I think I've eaten too quickly. Can I go and stand outside for a bit? And so I do, but I just don't like sitting there. And like roast dinners and things like that are really hard for me, because there's always different textures and tastes and everything else, and you have to be polite, and you have to get the dishes passed around the table, and you have to sit there, and it takes longer to eat. And spaghetti, same thing. I can't be doing spaghetti because it just drips down my chin, so I have to cut it up like a kid. It can get really embarrassing. But I know there's other people that my friends who don't eat in public at all, and if I persuade them even just to have a tea cake or something, they just put their hand over their mouth while they're chewing, because they're so self-conscious about it. So I know it's not just me who has problems with eating, but it's just, I mean, at the moment I'm not really eating anything apart from sandwiches, because like pre-bought sandwiches, because I'm, you know, the other half's off at work, so I don't tend to cook. So, you know, it's snack food in front of the television. Well, actually snack food in front of the computer, because like I want to be doing work while I'm eating. I don't want to be just eating. I don't like just eating, which is why I get, you know, frustrated at meal times. I just don't want to sit down and eat. I just need to be doing something else as well. And yeah, so I mean, you know, if there's kids there and they're getting yelled at to stay at the table, there might be a good reason why they're not wanting to stay at the table, and it might not just be because they're kids and they haven't learned any self-discipline, you know. So I mean, I'm 50. If I haven't learnt self-discipline by now, I'm not really going to, am I? So yeah, so complicated. If you've got any questions regarding ADHD and Asperger's and food, put them in the comments below, and I'll see about answering them in another video. Thank you very much, and ta-da! Worms!